Yo, Divalez, Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit, please.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
The Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
What's up? It's Pamp. If you haven't heard about it, Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
Well, yo, what's the case, man? This is your homeboy Bear, who represented 305 and the 77 Tree all day, all night. Chicago Podcast Summit.
Chicago Podcast Summit.
What up? It's the heavy hitter DJ Nonstop, and this is the Chicago Podcast Summit.
What's up? It's your boy Los LOS from the Flava Podcast. You are listening and watching the Flava Podcast.
We're back. We didn't change.
But Chicago pizza or New York pizza?
Oh, I'm with Chicago pizza all day. Well, that's
Tom.
White Tom.
Because I like chasing the rats.
Oh.
The rats. Can you put your finger up for a second? Like this? Up like this. Like you're about to point something.
Oh.
So this is going to be...
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Happy Sunday. No Los here today, but you are watching and listening to the Flava Podcast. It's your girl Liz, and it's just me. No Los today, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna entertain you guys, keep you guys busy, and make you guys laugh, and take some of his jokes too. So we have an amazing guest today. I have a lot of things in common with her. I believe we spoke for maybe 20 minutes, and I would like to say that she's just an amazing person. But before we get to our guest, we're gonna start with hot topic. And I didn't do my 3, 2, 1 because I don't have my guy here, but that's okay. That's okay. The hot topic for today is, for me, I don't think is my guest gonna have a hot topic, guys? So weird without anybody here. My hot topic is the Supreme Court has ruled for racial profiling to be allowed in California. Only in California, which I'm glad it's not happening here because you guys have been watching what's happening in Chicago. Unfortunately, we had an incident that happened the other day with Border Patrol and our citizens in Chicago. But we're going to remain positive, loving, and we're gonna keep sharing smiles with the world.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Los from the Flava Podcast. Did you know that in a research study, Rashi has been shown to have anti-cancer properties, anti-tumor effects, and it helps detox the body and regulates the immune system. Whether your immune system needs to be controlled or boosted, Gano can help you there. And natural coffee that changes people's lives. Get your daily dose of 150 antioxidants in 1 cup while enjoying the flavor of this beautiful coffee. Natural coffee never tasted this good.
And we are back, you guys. Just real quick, make sure you hit the link and get your Gano Excel coffee. Great for the skin, great for energy, great for your stomach, and it don't give you the jitters. It don't give you the jitters. No, I'm just kidding. And we are back with our amazing guest, Indigo Brown. And Indigo, we're so happy to have you here, girl. We're gonna share so much stuff for the community.
Yes.
Southside girlies. That's where it's at. All right, Indigo, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I come from a family of addictions and violence and abuse. We were struggling. I grew up in Humboldt Park. Both my grandparents worked for city jobs. They were fresh from Puerto Rico, just trying to figure out life.
Yeah.
And then I ended up being in the picture. My grandparents kind of raised me, and life had been struggling for a while. It wasn't easy living in the Humboldt Park area. Many people knew who my mom was, knew that she was dealing with addictions and some form of mental stuff. They didn't realize that my mom was illiterate, so she had learning disabilities from 2 years old.
That must have been hard.
Yes, very hard.
A lot of struggles.
It was a lot of struggles because, my mom dealing with the literacy, and when I was about 2 years old, we got hit by a car. which is one of the reasons why she ended up getting addicted to drugs.
Okay.
And so life had just been kind of a struggle from there. Life wasn't easy because I was raised with my grandparents. And when you're growing up and you're realizing that your mom's an addict and she's doing prostitution on the streets, and then everyone knew who my mom was.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was easy to just kind of get up and have a normal life and go to school. You know, I went to school where people picked on me because they knew who my mom was.
You had a target on your back.
All the time.
You're literally walking with a target.
Yes. And then it didn't help that I had family members that went to school with me and kind of would spread the rumors that my mom was, you know.
So they were no help?
No, not at all.
Oh, no.
So life was definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I did think that life was just a life sentence. I struggled with friends. I struggled with relationships. I struggled with connections. I was very much an introvert.
Yeah.
You know, having my grandparents kind of raising me. My dad was kind of in and out of the picture. I love my parents, and you can't choose who your parents are. And I understand their story. So it's not like I can really be angry at them. Yeah. I have so much love and compassion towards my parents that is one of the biggest reasons why I want to help and support others in need. Look forward to helping the community that are just struggling in these areas.
Yeah.
And for those that are trying to have a second chance in life, I like to encourage that, you know, life isn't a life sentence. There is something more out there if you apply yourself and kind of first forgive yourself and then, you know, believe that things can get better. Life can change, but it requires work. And, you know, that was the main thing for me is kind of, unfortunately, stepping away from my family.
You have to pull yourself back.
I had to because my family had already had an opinion with my life. They already had planned who I was going to be and what I was going to be and what I was going to become, which didn't leave much room for me to kind of flourish and be authentically me.
Yeah.
And I struggled in a lot of those areas because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted because everybody already had that plan for me.
Yeah.
So I had to step away from my family and kind of say, you know what? I don't want no part of this, which is one of the biggest reasons why I am Indigo Brown now. That wasn't always the deal.
Yeah.
About 7 years back, I did give myself a full, complete name change. And that's kind of weird how that all happened, too.
Okay.
I kind of had a vision, and the vision told me that I was going to no longer be the person I was, that I had to step away from that and become the person I was transitioning into.
Okay.
I had a bigger calling. I had a bigger mission, a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
And life kind of just went from there. And so I became Indigo.
And you said this was 7 years ago.
That was 7 years ago.
What were you doing before that?
I was dealing with my health. I was getting out of a divorce. I was dealing with a lot of, you know, walking away from the family, becoming an introvert, kind of isolating myself. I woke up one day and I literally had an F that moment. And it was one of those, like, I was just over it. I was over the being abused and used and taken advantage of and not respected and kind of neglected. And it needed to stop.
So something clicked.
Something hit me.
Yeah.
And at the process of that happening, I ended up writing a book.
Okay.
And that was kind of like my tribute of grieving and purging and letting it go.
Okay.
So everything I was experiencing got letting go in that book. I let it all go. I expressed what I was experiencing as a child.
You released it.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to. The only way I felt that I can really transition into who I know I was meant to be is if I let go of the person I was. And that was hurt.
Yeah.
That was pain. That was anger. It was neglect, frustration, regret. And I didn't want to be that person anymore. So it was time to transition. So I took the biggest leap of faith and just said, I'm ready. And I am looking forward to whatever the future had for me.
Yeah. And as a Southside girl, like
as a Southside girl, you know, growing up in Humboldt Park and kind of just maneuvered my way to the South Side. And
how old are you when you moved to the South Side?
I want to say I was in my mid 30s by then.
Okay.
So I you know, I'm in my 40s now. And I had just kind of had all my kids come back to me. We had been separated for some time. I was trying to get my life back on track. I was in bad situations with bad people.
Yeah.
When I said I had to let go of everything, I kind of had to let go of everything and kind of figure out who I was, find out what I wanted. So I decided to go to school.
Okay.
I was, you know, going to school full time. I was getting a lot of community support. You know,
when you went to school in your 20s or 30s?
I went into the schools between 20s to 30s.
Okay.
So mid-20s to early 30s, I was doing the college thing and, trying to raise 3 kids and minimal support. And I made it, honey.
But you made it happen.
I made it happen. I had to.
What about your kids? Did they go to college as well, or?
So my oldest did go to college. He also did the military thing. He's a veteran right now.
Yeah.
And he opened a nonprofit as well. He's been pushing me to kind of do my thing as well.
So that's where it kind of started. Is that where your passion grew for nonprofit?
I could definitely say it did. My oldest son is like my major supporter.
Okay.
And it was just me and him for some time. And so like he encourages me and he pushes me and he supports me and he tries to get me to believe in myself. Even though I'm the person that's making everyone else kind of believe in themselves, like he's the person that pushes me and says, "Hey, Mom, believe in yourself. I trust in you. I know you can do it." And then he kind of just goes from there. So a lot of who I am molding into is because of my son.
And you said he's 27. So you had him young.
I was 15 when I got pregnant, and I was 16 when I gave birth.
Wow.
And I dedicated my life to my kids.
Was it hard?
It was. No support, no help.
Support at all?
At all.
Mom?
Because Mom had learning disability and because she had issues with her addictions, I couldn't really depend on my mom like that. So I leaned on my grandmother a lot. And although I love my grandmother, I'm sorry if you see this. I am so sorry. It was an issue because I unfortunately had to deal with someone who criticized a lot. Or someone who was very judgmental.
Yeah.
Or it was always a but with her. You're doing great, but you can do better. You look great, but you can drop some weight. It was never a good enough thing.
Yeah.
And so that mentally, physically, emotionally, like that did a lot for me. And so like I didn't have that support. My dad kind of took off when I was young also, so I didn't really have him around.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of the siblings, so it's not like I could really depend on them to kind of help me.
Older sister comes with a lot of responsibilities too.
Definitely.
Wow, Indigo, it's really powerful. When after you had your son, your mom, do you feel like your mom maybe changed a little bit? At any point, do you feel like she was like, my daughter needs me?
That's tough because my mom has a learning disability. Think of a grown adult that has a lot of street smarts, but physically, emotionally, mentally, she's not really all there. And it's kind of like talking to a kid sometimes.
Okay.
And she struggles with loving self and self-understanding because she's not all there anymore.
Yeah.
And hasn't been since I was a child, since she was a child. So, it was always been a struggle with getting my mom to kind of like be the mom. I'm not saying she wasn't a mom, because she was. How she knew how to be a mom.
How she knew.
And it wasn't horrible. My mom tried. She still tries.
Yeah.
She's not perfect, but I wouldn't ask for another mom. I maybe would ask for someone who didn't have what's causing her to, pause and not be the mom I want to have. But I love her.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Yeah.
You were able to use all the suffering that you went through and still love your mom.
I love my mom.
That's
my mom. I'll fight for my mama.
You fight for your mom. I love that. I love that. How are your kids now? Like, they're older, so are they around? Are they in Chicago?
All of them are here. They do live here. My oldest just bought a house in the burbs.
Okay.
And so he's kind of been doing his thing.
Okay.
And he did, he just opened his nonprofit, and he's trying to, run some businesses. He does real estate as well.
Nice.
My daughter, she kind of, is doing her own thing. I would say the only one that really did the college thing was my oldest. My two younger ones. My middle child, which is my daughter, she had a car accident when she was about 15 years old.
Okay.
It did some damage to her mentally. So she had struggled with just understanding stuff.
Yeah.
And so school really was a big struggle for her.
Yeah.
So that kind of just never really clicked with her.
Okay.
But she manages and she does well, and I can't complain. I have a good kid, so I can't complain. And for my youngest, yet again, he was in school up until COVID happened.
Okay.
And then he had just got into high school. COVID started to do its thing, and I was not risking my baby for nobody, okay? So I was like, you're staying home during COVID, you know, because I don't need to risk you. And it was, you know, they knew the options. You know, if you're not in school full time, you need to be working, you need to be doing something, but sitting and not doing anything is not a thing for me. And so he ended up, you know, getting his first job when he was about 16. And so they all been working since they were 16. They wanted to be independent. And, you know, now he's older and kind of just doing his thing. I'm a proud mom. I love my kids. They're great. And I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome, Indigo. My question for you, I am really interested in how your whole mission started. Like where did it begin?
Very young.
Okay.
So I have always been working with people. We had a conversation earlier where I mentioned I had near-death experiences. So I've had about 5 near-death experiences in my life. The first near-death experience, I remember that I couldn't leave my mom behind. We had just got into an accident. I came back and I spent the first couple of months, you know, trying to figure out life. I was very young. I knew that I didn't want to lose my mom. And then after she got better and she came out, she started to become addicted to drugs. And there was habits that I was not happy with. And so there was a passion to kind of help people that were in these addictive states. You know, my grandfather was a heavy drinker. He was an addict. My step-grandfather was a drinker, and he was an addict. My mom was an addict. You know, there was a lot of addiction in the family, so I couldn't get away from it. My dad drank. You know, he had his issues. It was like, I'm surrounded by addiction and alcoholism. Like, what is my life supposed to be? Something had to change. And then when I became a teenager and I ended up getting pregnant and having my first child, I said, you know what? I need to make some kind of mission happen. I need to have an initiative or do something, because there's guaranteed a lot of people out there that are just like me that were jumping through hula hoops to find resources, trying to figure out life, trying to get back on their feet, trying to just have some kind of direction, and felt like they were nowhere, finding nothing and bare minimal support. I couldn't have that happen. So I want to say about maybe 15 years back, I started my life coaching. I did college for some time, and then I decided to be a coach. Those who experience can understand and kind of relate to people who are going through the same similar situations. I went from coaching to interactive approach to life skills. So I ended up opening Work, Build, Love Umbrella Networking Solutions, which about, say, 10, 15 years in, I transitioned it. And then I decided just out of nowhere, I said, you know what? This should be a nonprofit. And then that's where WBL Life Choices became a thing. And so that's an NFP. And so I combined my life coaching practice with my nonprofit to provide not just resources and schooling and education, but also life lessons, life planning, life goals. You know, if you have a goal and you have an idea, then it could become a reality, but you have to plan it out.
Process.
There's a time management and there's goal planning and there's business building and you know, anything can be a business. And so I said, you know what? People need to look outside the box when it comes to future, and when it comes to businesses. I never wanted to work for anybody. I know I was not built to work for anybody.
You didn't want to clock in or out.
That was a no for me. That was going to be a no for me. And I said, you know what? So I'm really good in a lot of different things. I can make those into small little businesses, and that's kind of what I did. And then that helped me to kind of connect with people and kind of get myself out there. It worked because really, you know, I'm known for my cakes, or I'm known for my junk food, and I'm known for my creations. And so, you know, I do a lot of different things when it comes to small businesses. I love to help small businesses as well. And that sparked that nonprofit even more, because you know, when you work with the community and they tell you what they want,
you hear the needs.
It sparks you, and it's like, you know what? I gotta have this, and I gotta have that, and I gotta add this, and we need
just
to help
a little
everybody.
Bit of everything.
That's why we became an umbrella.
That's amazing, and it's just gonna be one place for
one
everything.
One place for everything.
For everything.
So we're calling it a hub. So it's an umbrella hub that we're looking to kind of create over time. We're kicking off an event soon. We'll eventually get to that. But we will be kicking off an event that will kind of show the community who we are, where we came from, and why it's important for us to kind of establish and provide the community with things that they need, from, you know, everything. we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But there's a list of things that we could provide over time.
Do you think that everything that you experienced as a child, do you think all of that is stemmed into your mission? Like you really want to see that because you maybe inside of you believe your mom might have been a little bit different if she had the resources?
It is so funny because I say the same thing. You know, if my mom didn't have these little things that happened to her and caused the bigger trail of just issues, she's a beautiful person. Yeah. She's got a heart of gold. When I look at her, I see a young child that I want to hug and just say it's all gonna be okay because I love her. I couldn't imagine myself without my mom. Yeah. But at the same time, if she had more opportunity or capability to be able to just be herself with resources, who she would have became. This woman can massage. She can cook. She can clean. Yeah. She likes to do these things. Wow. So imagine being able to turn all three of those things into a business.
Yeah, if she had the tools.
That's right.
If she had the tools, and that's where you come in.
That's right.
That you are going to come in and you're going to give everybody those tools.
That's right.
Girl, that's so inspirational. You're doing it where I grew up. I grew up in the south side of Chicago, Marquette and Kedzie. That's where I kind of, my area. And when you said you're by 65th and Western, I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly where that's at.
That's right. That's right.
You're going to a really heavily populated area where we are scarce in resources. Yeah. Like, I know that, a lot of things are mentioned when it comes to, non-for-profits. A lot of them are in it for the wrong reasons. Right. And I think that that's kind of the reason, and we talked about it earlier, that the community is scared to even come out to these events. Oh, yeah. They don't trust us anymore. Yeah. And in part, it is our fault because I personally know some people that knew of these things happening under the table and they didn't say anything. Yeah. And it's just like now we're paying the price because now the community is suffering. And it's not just the community, it's our economic. Yes. The economy. A lot of stores, if you think about it, how many stores in the south side are shut?
Shut down.
63rd.
Yeah.
If you go to through 63rd, it's
it's a ghost town.
Closed. It's all closed. Yeah. And it's like the talent is there. The love is there. The people care. Yes. It's just that they don't trust, and you have a whole plan to bring the community together. And I think just having you on here, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of people that are willing to do this. Yeah. So cool, girl. I want to hear more about your game, though. But I think we're going to go on break real quick because we have another Gano commercial coming up. Hey. Hi guys, it's your girl Liz. I'm here at the Flava Podcast Studio. Just wanted to remind you guys, come find us on November 22nd. We will be at the Chicago Podcast Summit, and your girl will be hosting the TikTok influencer panel. And that, you guys, was not Gano Excel. That was for Chicago Podcast Summit, you guys. November 22nd at the Chicago Theater Works. And your girl is going to be hosting the TikTok panel. Not going to tell you who's going to be the guests yet, but really excited to see everybody there. And we're back with our guest, and it's time for this or that. I'm going to ask you this or that, and you're going to tell me why you chose it. So I get to steal Los's this or that. Oh, you guys so excited. I never done that. All right, first one. Tom or Jerry?
So I'm gonna go with Jerry.
Jerry. Oh, yes. I knew you were a Jerry girl. Why Jerry?
Because he's smart. He always figures it out. You can't catch him, okay? He's already one step ahead.
I agree. All right. Superman or Batman?
Oh gosh. I'm big on the Gotham City. Okay. I'm more for the villains than anything.
Bad girl. What you mean for the villain? So you're like
I like the Joker situation.
Oh, I feel like Batman's like in a way, like I feel like he could be a good villain. I feel like he would be a good villain. I'm not lying.
Incognito.
There you go. All right. Coffee or tea?
I would say tea because coffee does way too much for so many reasons.
After a certain age, I feel like I understand you because in my 20s, coffee was like my best friend. I would have 3 to 4 cups, and now it's like I could only have like at least one cup a day, and maybe some green tea later on.
It saves.
All right, Cubs or White Sox?
Oh, we want to get me beat up, I see. So I mean, the Sox right now are the South Side, so I don't want to fight.
You want your community to love you.
But at the same time, I grew up with the Cubs. My grandfather was really big on the Cubs, and so I'm kind of torn in between. So I'm just gonna say neutral. Okay,
you're gonna be neutral. We've never got a neutral. I think we've gotten like a Yankees or some other states, but I've never heard neutral.
I'm gonna stay neutral. I mean, they're both.
It's fair.
They're both.
It is fair though because you're like from the north side and the south side, so I guess it's fair.
I gotta stay neutral.
It's fair. Okay. The Bears or the Packers?
The Bears.
Oh, girl, I thought you were gonna say the Packers. I was gonna say, oh no!
I can't walk away. I'm sorry.
All right. Why?
I just feel that they're a bit better, even though they have their moments. They are a bit better, They kind of strategize a little bit better, and they have a better game plan.
Even if they weren't better.
Yeah.
We're from Chicago, like some people.
Yeah, I'm yet again
Chicagoans.
I'm not trying to get beat up. So.
I'll bring it. I'll fight for you. Hawaii or Dubai?
Oh, that's both.
You can't do both, girl. You gotta choose one.
I would probably say Dubai. Okay. I feel like it's a lot cheaper, more to see. I just feel like
really. You think Dubai would be cheaper than Hawaii?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think Dubai is like up there.
When it comes to certain things, definitely, places to stay and sightseeing, I think it's a little bit on the variety side of money.
Okay. Sunset or sunrise?
Have you ever seen the clouds on a sunrise?
They're so gorgeous.
I'm saying.
They're breathtaking.
Yes.
Like I think like at that 4 a.m. peak, 4, 5, 6. That before 6. It has to be before 6.
I feel like the clouds, on a sunrise, it holds the memories and the dreams of the night before. Aww. So with the way the clouds kind of look is like the beginning of the new day. So everybody's waking up from their slumbers and the Sandman's kind of just going away. So the clouds for me is like, a cloud bank of memories from the night before.
I like that. That's a good answer. YouTube or Netflix?
I would probably say Netflix.
You're a Netflix and chill type of girl.
I'm definitely Netflix and chill. I like watching movies, when I have the time. And,
I agree with you. I'm not a YouTube. YouTube only for like podcasts.
Right.
Like, or if I'm trying to do yoga or this crazy move that I can't do on my own, then I'll
definitely.
I'll go on YouTube and learn,
work out all the time. Yeah. That's a place to go when you want to learn something, understand something, or figure something out.
That's exactly what I feel like. It's YouTube. You can learn anything. Guys, please go on YouTube. You can learn anything. YouTube school, that's what I call it.
That's right.
Let's see. I had one in mind, but it just like totally slipped. But I'm going to go with one that we always argue about here.
Okay.
Chicago pizza or New York pizza?
Chicago pizza. We have a variety of pizza here. We have from deep dish to thin crust to pan. The toppings, we have a variety of toppings.
We do.
And that cheese pull, depending on where you get it from, is for everything. Okay, I love me some pizza. Maybe not something I should be eating on a regular basis, but I love me some pizza.
From where?
So I don't know if you remember John's Pizzeria back in the days. That was one of my favorite places.
They had to close.
I am saying, or Fathers and Sons. That was another one that was just a classic. I'm saying good pizza. Those are the two for me.
Those are the two for you?
Yeah.
Well, she didn't name Pequods. And not these either. Do you know not these since you're like south side? Have you heard of not these?
Not really. you know
what?
I've only been in the South Side a couple years, so I haven't really had an opportunity to kind of try the pizzas in the South Side like that.
Well, you have to try it.
Got a couple, locations, but nothing that's really, pizza's a big thing for me, and so not everyone makes really good pizza.
They don't.
Until further wise,
until they're actually voted best pizza in the place, I guess.
Right. I like that authentic Italian style pizza.
All right, arroz con gandule or arroz blanco? Gandules? Oh. Wait, girl, I never asked you. What are you, Mexican?
So I'm a mixture of things. So I am Puerto Rican, a little bit of Jamaican and Creole.
Creole?
Yes.
Wow. That's so cool. What? So is that from your dad's side?
From my dad.
Yeah. Dad. I might have heard the dad's side part. Oh,
yeah, he's a bit of a giant.
That's why you're so tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm out of this or that. You guys, help me out back there. No help at all.
The neglect.
They just neglect me. They're like, you're gonna swim on your own. Let me see. Cheeseburgers or chicken nuggets?
I'm a fat girl, so I'm gonna say cheeseburgers. I love me some food, okay?
Sorry guys, I have to go with cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets. I'm out of this or that. He usually has the good ones. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm out of this or that. So, you have an event coming up.
I do.
You want to tell us a little bit about it?
So November 1st, I am bringing Monopoly to life in a more interactive life skills approach.
Monopoly to life. So Monopoly to life. The Monopoly game?
Yeah, so the Monopoly board will be a 16 by 16 board.
Whoa.
We are replacing all the spaces on the board with more interactive approaches.
Okay.
We are getting the community to kind of get involved. We're asking for resources to also get involved. We have a few that kind of reached out already. Mm-hmm. We're also looking for vendors to play the stores on the board.
That's so cool.
And so we're trying to show the community that we are an umbrella foundation.
Okay. That
sees the South Side as a home. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of places that need to be, uplifted and need support and need resources, need education and schooling. We're trying to kind of help the homelessness by providing micro homes. Okay. At some point, if you join the program, then it'll give you access to pantries and closets, communal mailboxes for those that are unhoused, trying to get back into the work field again. We're trying to provide agriculture as well. I remember growing up and you could kind of pluck things off trees and eat it. Yeah. And so I'm wondering what happened with all of that conspiracy. But,
conspiracy hoops, guys, because you're
but if we could provide food for the community, the main thing is if we can at least get the hub going and get the community to realize that we are an umbrella foundation that wants to provide, that wants to offer schooling and education, health, mental health, really big right now. Fathers' rights we're advocating for. Family with children with disabilities we're advocating for. We just want to be able to provide a multitude of possibilities and capabilities for the South Side. Over time, once we gain traction towards, getting donors and sponsors to provide for the resources and education, then we can find a location that we can buy and not rent. I just feel like it makes more sense to buy a location versus renting a location. And then over time, maybe starting to buy up some lots. I feel that the areas that are more elderly should have communal gardenings so that they can have access to food. In the elder communities, I feel that the family-based communities for those empty lots should be more dedicated to children, and repurposing old woods and old plastic and old tires and kind of making it more fun, family friendly. It utilizes spaces that are not being used.
They're just vacant spaces.
And people dump trash in these places and Lord knows stuff. Even worse. And if we can kind of stop that by buying up the spaces, turning it into something useful, plus providing our hub and our umbrella over time, it's an all-in-all pop shop.
Yeah.
So
they could just get
gotta
help.
start somewhere.
They get help for everything. They get counseling, therapy. They get help to get a job.
Education.
You were talking about, getting, CTA to possibly help with bus passes. So that's just like it's
uniforms for first job interviews.
Yeah. So there's no excuse into why they can't take that step into going a better direction.
Right.
Because you're handing them literally everything to be able to do that, to change their life. Yes. And I think that's really special and important because a lot of people don't realize that over 80% of the homeless population are veterans that are suffering from PTSD, and they just don't know how to even ask for the help because they don't know that they need it.
Right.
That's something that I learned too, like with therapy, right? That something in our brain blocks us from even acknowledging that we need help.
Right.
And when you don't even know what questions to ask, right? You don't know what questions to ask. You don't know who to ask. So what do? You just rather not do anything.
Right.
And you're trying to provide this space. And I think it's really important to remember, right, that Chicago is so many different communities. We have, Garfield Ridge, Garfield Park. We have Humboldt Park. We have so many parts of Chicago. And the resources are there. Yeah. There's money, but it's not always divided evenly.
Of course.
And someone who grew up in the South Side, I saw that. Like, I saw how our schools are deteriorating. The parks, there's no attention being given. And again, the money is there, but it's being funneled.
Yeah.
Like in the areas that it's not supposed to be funneled and for things that it's not supposed to be funneled.
Right.
And is your son, like you said your son's a veteran.
Yeah.
He's the one that, has helped you get everything together.
So far.
Yeah.
He's so my son has always been a person to do. And like he's
a doer.
He's got a crazy story to why he's a doer. 15 days old, he almost passed away.
Oh.
And he fought for his life for the first 2 years of his life. When he was about 3 years old, he was fighting for his life again. He was 15 years old. He was fighting for his life again. He's always been a fighter. Yeah. He's always also been an encourager too. So, that's my champ.
Yeah.
And so when he came to me one day, it was a couple years back, he says, Mom, I want to be in the military. And I was like, first thing in my mind was like, oh my gosh, like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Yeah. And he says, I really want to go to the military. And I had connections, so I reached out to those connections and I said, my son wants to get into the military. Please guide him, protect, watch over, and report back to me. So, he ended up getting involved and he's loved it.
Yeah.
He wants to stay in that, type of thing. Since then, he has become a veteran now. And he said, I want to have a nonprofit. And I said, okay. So he opened up his nonprofit. And then him and his partner ended up getting a business that they opened up together. Mm-hmm. And then he decided he wanted to do real estate. He's always wanted to build houses. So, from the nonprofit to the houses, it was a big transition for him. And now he's trying to open up a gym with his nonprofit for students and veterans. And especially with mental health and healthy lifestyle living. So he says, Mom, you should open up a nonprofit too. Because then we can kind of help each other out with the resources. And trust me, it has been helping. I have been getting a lot of support. So like we push each other. Yeah. I show up for his stuff. He shows up for my stuff. And we kind of just been sharing resources and connections that way. And I've been having a blast. I can't complain. I have been having fun.
Yeah, and does he play a big part in this Monopoly event that's coming?
He plays a big role as far as the connections that I received to even find the location. So I ended up getting connected with someone from the American Legion Society.
Okay.
And then, the American Legion Chicago Post 96.
Yeah.
And then
they're veterans.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
they're veterans. And then they connected me to Berwyn Eagles 2125.
Okay.
And they heard the Monopoly and they said, we're
Let's
on board.
Go.
And so I was like, this is gonna be cool. And so like I've gotten a lot of support, kind of just bring this big old board game to life. So the way that the board game is hoping to play out is where big board game's going to be in the middle.
Okay.
And a bunch of tables will be around the board game. with vendors and sponsors and vendor resources.
Okay.
So if you're going around the board, you throw this big old dice. We're going to have this massive dice that you're going to throw, and it'll land on its spot. You'll go around your board, and if you land at one of the tables on one of the spots, you turn, you look at the person at the table, and they will provide you whatever resources is part of that spot, or whatever education or schooling or job opportunity or etc. And then you move on to the next role. And it's kind of just how you play, how you play Monopoly.
Yeah, how you play Monopoly. That is so cool. And it's just a bigger picture.
A bigger picture. Think of more life skills, interactive, fun. They also have the opportunity, it's a day after Halloween, so they also have the opportunity to repurpose their costume and kind of come as your piece.
So they're going to be able to wear their costume if they want to.
And kind of go on the board.
That's
and, they're
awesome.
gonna, if you're coming as a Captain Hook, then you're Captain Hook piece on the board,
I love that. That is so exciting. So you're going to have vendors, resources.
Yes.
You said insurance.
So we're going to be having life insurance and business planners. We're going to educate financial educators.
Okay.
We're going to be having mental health and nurses and doctors. Some of them will be providing free equipment for your health. They'll be doing assessments. We'll be having dental there as well for those that are needing some kind of dental assistance. We'll be providing food, some extra resources. We'll have the vendors there as well. The vendors will kind of play a role as a store. So if you decide you want to buy something from the store, while you're on the board, you can. It's a real experience.
Cool. It makes me want to go. I'm going to go.
I felt that if people had an opportunity to have something really happening. Yeah. So many people go to do a 21-step program and they get a token. But the token doesn't really do anything. Yeah. It's just a reminder that you completed a program. But if we can show you that when you come and work with us, once we finally have our location, then you will have the opportunity to receive incentives like a ticket and token, which will allow you to get a pantry and closet. The way that we're trying to set up our pantry and closets to be more store-like, so you're kind of walking into a store.
You guys are giving them dignity.
Yes. We don't want you to feel like you're in a program, and we don't want you to feel like you're having to be discriminated or less than. Yeah. It's normal, it's natural. You come, you sign up for a program. Every week is something that you have to do. It's a 21-step program, so it's 6 weeks of you coming in every week, signing up, doing your assessment, joining a program, getting into a trade and skill, learning something, building your forever little micro home, or donating it to someone in need. Allowing you to get access to mailboxes for mail so you can back into the workforce, become a person again, and even over time be able to gain food and access to food. If we have a multitude of food, then we're now donating it to those that are in the community. So we want to help everyone.
Yeah, it's not just people that are living in the street. It's everyone and anyone who needs.
We're an umbrella.
Help.
We want to be an umbrella. It says, and we're also thinking about the mothers too and the parents. When I talk about parents, I'm not looking at mom and I'm not looking at dad. Yeah. I'm looking at parents. Yeah. And a lot of the time parents struggle to be able to sign up for a job or sign up for school or complete a program because they don't have that support and assistance to provide for daycare or anything like that. Yeah. But if we can have a center where we're saying, hey, come to us, we'll watch your children in the daycare, which lets them bounce off the walls, and we're trying to make it autistic friendly so that when you're coming to our location, they can let their sensories go wild while you complete a program, an education course,
and you don't have to worry about them.
Right, and they're not worried and stressing about their kids. They can do what they have to do, complete the programs, complete the assessments. Hopefully we can over time get the city to allow us to have programs that will give them certificates and degrees or licenses and be able to actually use these things the way they need to. So the first start is to have our November 1st program. Say, hey, this is who we are. This is what we're trying to do. We want to provide for you and the city of Chicago with a permanent location for you and your supporting needs.
I love that. And you're giving them that. I think that event is just going to give them that ability to trust you.
Right.
Because it's a game. It's who doesn't have fun at games? It's literally a game, and it's just exciting. And every time you talk about it, you just light up.
I love it.
You just light up. You like literally, your eyes just like spark with excitement. It just makes me so happy.
It took a lot of time. It took a lot of time too.
A lot of thinking, I'm sure.
A lot of thinking. I had to come up with the game plan, and I had to come up with the how it's all going to come together and how it's going to play out. There will be 4 mini games that will be happening in the corners while this big board game is going on as well. Each one is interactive as well. You know, I created the board by hand. So I had to kind of like look at the Monopoly board and then go back and repurpose the whole board game to make it more interactive, life skills friendly.
Wow. How long did it take you?
Oh, gosh. Some months, because it was a lot of me trying to figure out how to place everything and what kind of resources I'm actually going to need. And then once I figured that out and got on the board and created the board, then it was a matter of like, okay, now I need to do a lot of reaching out to people because I need to have these spots kind of filled in. I've made phone calls, I've done emails, I've reached out to a lot of people, and I have been lucky to get enough people kind of starting to call back and reach back and say, you know, hey, I'm interested in the board. This sounds fun. I want to participate, and I still need a lot more.
You still need more.
I still need a lot more. Yes. I want to fill up that board, and I think
you're gonna do it.
I do. So I'm excited.
You just definitely have to. Definitely talk about it more on social media. A lot of the community is on social media, you know, and
90% of it.
90% of it. So make sure you talk about it on social media for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see how it turns out and what that event sparks, because it's gonna spark something in a lot of people, right? And this is something that my boss actually taught me. So about a month ago, we started this competition, right? Trying to physically change our bodies in a good way, healthy. So I had to read a psychology book to see what he was doing. So at first, it's the seed that's implanted, right? And what's our motivation? $500. Hey, you win, you get $500, right? But what he's doing is he's making a ripple effect, and we're just automatically going to want to exercise every day, right? Because I see it naturally happening in me, right? Because it started a month ago. Now I'm 35 days in. And every morning I'm like, okay, girl, when are you going to go for your walk? You know what I mean? And with what you're doing, right, you're instilling this idea. And it's just going to make a ripple effect, and it's going to go into other communities.
Yes.
And I could see other communities using that big old Monopoly game. And you might be the owner of that Monopoly game, you know? You trademark it.
Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan.
You make sure you trademark it so
definitely.
Nobody could use it. Well, is there anything else that you want to share for the community to know about that program, that event that's going to happen November 1st?
Definitely. So if anyone is interested in participating, having some fun, or becoming a vendor, or even a resource for this event, you can please reach me at askindigo.thesbn@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or if you want to participate in just showing up, you can show up at 6309 26th Street in Berwyn, Illinois. Between November 1st at 12 to 4.
12 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to make sure we put those details on the screen for everybody to see. And what about your, do you have Instagram, Facebook, where they can reach you, where they can find you?
I'm actually everywhere.
You're everywhere, girl.
So they can actually, realistically, they can Google me.
Okay.
Just Google Indigo.
Okay.
Middle name is Nikki. It's Nikki. Divine Brown, and trust me, you can find me everywhere. Every social media you could think of. You can also see everything I got going on and all that is coming in the future.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that event come to life. Like I'm gonna be there, girl. And I probably won't play Monopoly because I've never played the actual Monopoly game. Like I've never played it, but just seeing it and seeing the community and where I grew up at, you know, it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But thank you so much for being here, sharing a little bit about you, about your mission, and I really believe in the goal that you're gonna do great things, and just being here is gonna open doors to a lot of networking. I've learned that the 6 months that I've been here, like, it's just explosive how much the community and people that grew up in these communities are willing to do to help out. Right. You know, we just want the community to be better. We want the kids to grow up in a safe environment, and you want to take care of the elderly too. Yeah. Father rights, mother rights. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Indigo, for being here.
My pleasure.
All right. Well, you guys, this has been the Flava Show, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.